Torrential rains devastate southern China, homes, lives, and crops swept away. Relentless downpours have battered southern China since late June, leaving residents across Guangdong, Guangxi, and Rongqing in despair. Garages submerged, homes destroyed, and entire fields of crops drowned. The damage is everywhere. As floodwaters surged, many blamed not just the rain, but the sudden overnight discharge from hydropower stations, which triggered catastrophic floods with no warning. Victims from disaster zones like Sichuan and Guangxi say the government silenced them, hiding the true scale of destruction and blocking them from speaking out. Since July 3rd, heavy rains have hammered Chengdu, Guangyuan, Mianyang, and more. Multiple dams discharged simultaneously, causing major rivers, Dadu, Qingyi, Minjiang, Tuojiang, and Fujian, to surge. Chengdu is now drowning in water, while towns across the region have been battered by floods, landslides, and mudslides. On July 4th, a massive flood hit Shuijing Town, Pingwu County, sweeping through without mercy. In Danba County, Ganzi Prefecture, entire homes were buried under mud, and a bridge was torn in half. One survivor, Mr. Dai from Shuijing, described the horror. The flood hit at 9 p.m. and destroyed everything instantly. My house, my car, all my crops, gone. I jumped off the roof to survive. The water was over 3 meters high. 2 people I know didn't make it. And now, we're not allowed to talk about it. In Longlin County, Beisi, Guangxi, floodwaters also brought landslides and thick mud. A week after the disaster, cleanup is slow and painful. Residents say the silt is knee-deep and garbage litters the land. Mr. Zhang from Longlin shared, "Everyone's cleaning up the rivers. Some roads caved in and will take time to fix. Homes collapsed, cars soaked or swept away. The flood hit around midnight. We didn't have time to save anything. Crops, supplies, warehouses, everything is ruined. Corn, all rotted." Many rural areas are isolated, relying on self-help. With roads and bridges broken and no clean water, villagers are digging through rubble to find basic necessities. "In the countryside, it's worse," said Mr. Zhang. "No transport, no help. One house takes a family years to build, now gone in a night. Generations of hard work washed away. It breaks your heart." Meanwhile, in Guangdong, floods struck late last month, just as Sanhua plums, dubbed the king of plums, were ripening. The result? Disaster for fruit farmers. Ms. Shen, a farmer from Sanhua town, said, "My orchard was underwater. I lost everything. I used to get hundreds of kilos per tree, now just a few dozen. Nearly 100 trees flooded. I was watching someone live stream the floods and just cried." Severe floods devastate Gansu and Yunnan. Homes swept away, lives shattered. On July 3rd, catastrophic floods slammed into Longnan, Gansu, ravaging areas like Kangxian and Wenxian. Roads were ripped apart, homes collapsed, farmland was submerged, vehicles vanished in the torrent, and people were swept away. As of July 4th, Longnan had endured 3 days of non-stop downpours, and the floodwaters showed no sign of letting up. Just 1 day earlier, Yongxian, Yunnan was also hit by violent flooding, suffering massive destruction. From July 2nd to 4th, relentless rains pounded Longnan. In Wudu district and the counties of Kangxian, Wenxian, Chengxian, and Huixian, the damage was overwhelming. Raging rivers, broken roads, deadly landslides, and mudslides. A resident of Kangxian described waking up on the 3rd to find the streets submerged. "It was like an ocean outside our door." Ms. Zhao from Kang County recounted the chaos. "We had no warning, no chance to evacuate. The flood hit like a wild beast. Streets were swallowed, roads cut off, 5 or 6 people swept away. Cars disappeared, houses collapsed, water poured inside, our beds were soaked in mud, our corn ruined, even our pigs drowned. We were helpless." That same day, the Biku hydropower station on the Bailong River was caught on camera unleashing a spectacular and terrifying discharge. Shortly after, Bifengo in Biku town was overwhelmed. The local tea market vanished under nearly a meter of floodwater. Ms. Yang, a resident of Biku, said, The flood hit hard, roads were washed away, water gushed from the ditch and flooded homes. Within an hour it came and went, leaving only mud and wreckage. It's chaos every year, but this time was worse. Meanwhile, on July 2nd, Yun County in Lingang, Yunnan Province was also devastated. The disaster was brutal. Roads cut off, and even high-speed rail was suspended. Mr. Wang, a Yun County resident, explained, "Everything's gone. Cornfields, greenhouses, fish ponds. Cars, too. The industrial park was washed away. Only debris left behind." A factory owner said the damage was 1.5 million yuan. Machines lost, property destroyed. It wasn't just a natural disaster, it was made worse by human error. In the nearby village, Mr. Zhang, who made a living selling tea, lost nearly everything. 2 tea factories were destroyed. My house, gone. My tea, my electronics, everything. Now a pile of soaked garbage. It's devastating. He added, villages were wiped out in minutes. 2 to 3 meters of water covered everything. I had to swim out. No warning at all. I'm furious. My losses? At least 200,000 yuan. If you count the car, it's more. It was swept into the river. I had to hire a crane to get it back. Not just electric cars, solar street lights in mainland China also self-ignite. The explosion of batteries in China's domestically produced electric vehicles has become a serious hidden danger. The mainland has experienced extreme heat recently, and solar streetlights in certain areas have also collectively caught fire. Netizens speculate that this may also be related to the batteries in solar equipment. Recently, many parts of the mainland have continued to experience high temperatures. Several videos of solar streetlights catching fire have been uploaded online. One video shows that the solar devices on dozens of street lamp posts on both sides of a road in a certain area caught fire simultaneously, without exception. Flames and white smoke burst from the solar panels. Open flames fell to the ground, igniting roadside weeds that had dried up under the scorching sun. Another video shows panels on solar lampposts next to a residential building catching fire, causing panic among the residents. Another video shows that panels on multiple solar streetlights in a certain area were also burning violently, with flames spewing out and loud explosions. One of the burning lampposts was located next to a building, and burning debris from the lamppost fell to the ground. Among the above 3 videos, the person recording the first one has a southern accent, while the latter 2 have northeastern accents. Many netizens speculated that the spontaneous combustion of the solar panels may be related to the high temperatures and prolonged exposure to sunlight. Some professional netizens explained that it was not the solar panel itself that caught fire, but rather the lithium battery attached to the bottom of the panel. The energy storage lithium battery overheated and burned. The manufacturer did not anticipate such intense sunlight and high temperatures. The battery was installed in a fully sealed plastic box with no heat dissipation at all. Many regions prefer to purchase low-quality products when installing photovoltaic streetlights, and there are even workshops with no technical expertise using large quantities of second-hand lithium batteries discarded from other industries. There's a shady business behind this, and it runs deep. The spontaneous combustion of domestic solar devices reminds people of the frequent explosions involving domestic electric vehicles. Previously, many videos circulated showing domestic EV batteries exploding on the streets due to sun exposure in the mainland. Some videos show that due to the recent continuous high temperatures in the mainland, many electric vehicle owners have purchased and installed special electric vehicle sunshades to prevent battery fires. My bank card has been restricted, and as a veteran banker who devoted a lifetime to this industry, I now feel utterly betrayed by the once sacred promise of voluntary deposits and free withdrawals. I retired in August 2022 as a bank lobby manager. Back then, we followed protocol and routinely asked customers about large withdrawals, but account freezes were rare and always tied to serious offenses like money laundering. That was the norm. That was the trust. But just days ago, when I tried to transfer my matured fixed deposit to another card, I was blocked. The system told me my card had been restricted. The reason? Anti-fraud measures, they said. Risk control, they claimed. I understand the need for security, but what I cannot accept is the brutal one-size-fits-all policy now being blindly enforced. Every depositor is treated like a suspect. No distinctions. No consideration for individual history or integrity. Is this not a direct violation of the fundamental principle of banking? Free deposits and free withdrawals? Even worse, banks are now demanding full traceability of every depositor's funds. Customers are forced to justify their own money, and accounts are frozen without warning, often without any meaningful communication. Yes, anti-fraud and anti-money laundering are necessary, but these tools are being used like hammers, smashing through the rights of ordinary people. The burden of regulation is now dumped on the very customers banks are supposed to serve. Banks are no longer service providers. They've become enforcers. If cutting costs means sacrificing precision for mass suspicion, what happened to customer first? Where is the dignity, the trust, the human touch in banking now? They speak of customer first, yet build invisible walls around our accounts. They chase deposits aggressively, but scrutinize your income like you're a criminal. They ask for trust while offering surveillance in return. Is this risk control or a total breakdown of banking ethics? This has forced me to question everything. Does Article 29 of the Commercial Bank Law, which protects depositors' right to withdraw their money, still matter? Are the promises in the financial consumer protection measures just pretty words with no real power? My story is not unique. Countless depositors across China are being trapped in this silent financial crackdown. This is no longer about isolated incidents. This is systemic betrayal. And it deserves the full attention of regulators, the media, and the people before trust in the banking system collapses completely. Since the start of this year, the Suzhou municipal government in Jiangsu province has rolled out wave after wave of housing market rescue policies, hoping to revive sluggish transactions and stop the relentless slide in property prices. But none of these moves have worked. Suzhou's housing prices continue to nosedive. The market is far colder than officials ever expected. Some even describe it as entering a nobody buys era. Both data and market sentiment point to a harsh reality. A decade-long property bubble is collapsing at an alarming speed. Some analysts even say prices have dropped back to 2015 levels, as if the entire housing bubble inflated over the past 10 years has just burst overnight. A decade of soaring prices wiped out in a flash. From 2009 to 2019, Suzhou's property prices nearly quadrupled. In 2010, prices broke through 10,000 yuan per square meter. By 2017, they hit 20,000, and by 2019, the average price surged to 25,800 yuan mètre carré. In core districts like the Industrial Park and Gusu, the figure approached 40,000 yuan. The 2015 boom kicked off a historic climb. Prices doubled in just 4 to 5 years. But in early 2019, as land prices skyrocketed and 3 Land King deals closed in just 2 weeks, Suzhou caught the attention of regulators. The Ministry of Housing stepped in. After a warning, prices peaked in July and began sliding, continuing to fall into 2021. Official data from the Suzhou Statistics Bureau shows commercial housing transactions peaked in 2020. But by 2022, as income shrank, job security weakened, and uncertainty spread, the bottom began to fall out. In 2024, Suzhou's new home sales fell to 4.29 million m2s, down 26% year-on-year. Prices dropped 5% to an average of 26,737 yuan meters. In February 2025, even though signed contracts rebounded slightly, prices continued falling. The second-hand market was worse. Prices plunged 10.8% month-on-month to just 16,500 yuan per meters. That same month, 64,330 homes saw price cuts as desperate owners scrambled to sell. In March 2025, Suzhou launched another aggressive policy blitz. A new proposal boosted support for families with multiple children, raising their loan limit by up to 35%. Upgraders could get 20% more in loans, and interest subsidies were introduced for low-income buyers. Another key measure was the 3 lows and 1 wide mortgage scheme, just 15% down payment, monthly payments as low as 100 yuan, and talent subsidies covering part of the down payment. But despite this flurry of incentives, home prices keep falling. With unemployment rising and fears of a deepening economic slump, more and more netizens are asking, will Suzhou's housing market ever recover? Or is this the beginning of a long winter?